Folk on the internet are whispering about some potential underhanded practice from the Pokemon developers. Is this scuttlebutt or a hidden scandal? It's time for the latest news out of Japan. As long as there have been Pokemon games, there have been people making up their own adorable pocket monsters. Everyone does it, from kids sketching in an art book to indie game companies trying to create their own Pokemon ripoffs. These are fun, but can't get too close to the original look of Pokemon. Monster Crown and Temtem can try all they like. They need to avoid any lawsuits from Nintendo. The fan community, however, can mimic Game Freak's aesthetic far more closely. These OC Pokemon, or Fakemon, are an industry at this point. Twitter has artists specializing in designing Fakemon. We've seen regional variants, new legendaries, and even some stabs at the new Paradox forms. There are even entire new Pokédexes full of original Fakemon to populate their own fan games, such as the amazingly complex Pokemon Uranium. These artists are so talented at echoing Game Freak's in-house style that it can be difficult to tell what's an official Pokemon and what's a fake. And that seems to have gotten significantly harder with the release of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now that the games are public, several members of the Fakemon community have complained that the Paldean Pokédex rips off their hard work. One artist, Bulby noted striking similarities between Palafin and his own dolphin Pokemon, Dolphlate. Both look pretty close and even share a transformation-focused ability. Artist Diego Monsterlab drew a clear line between his pepper Pokemon Burniper and the final game's Scovillain. And they do seem pretty similar. Tarantula bears a strong resemblance to Weavara from the Atis region Fakemon project. Did Nintendo rip off these fan artists? The story has been largely buried for the moment. Social media distracted with complaints about buggy performance or fans simply enjoying the game. It's easy for loyal fans to write this off as jealous artists grasping at straws, or Game Freak's design team simply creating low-quality mon. With these videos and posts largely slipping under the radar, these grievances have gone mostly unexamined. It's certainly possible that some underpaid Game Freak designers glanced through Fakemon designs for some quick and simple inspiration. If that happened, then Game Freak absolutely deserves to get roasted for this. Taking advantage of fans and their work is extremely scummy behavior. But remember, the pattern of Pokemon design has had 8 generations now. People know how it works. That regions mirror specific real-world countries, and Pokemon designs tend to be taken from local trends and mythology. As such, if a fan wanted to design a Spanish Fakemon, they'd likely be thinking along similar lines to Game Freak. For example, did Bulby, himself a Portuguese artist, base his dolphin design on the mythical Bolo? That's a mythical dolphin creature that can transform into a more humanoid appearance. It would be reasonable to use it as source material for a Pokemon, but maybe Game Freak did the same. And they wouldn't have had to see Bulby's creation to do that. The end result is 2 different takes using the same source without ripping anybody off. The Bolo even has a seductive aspect to it, potentially explaining the shared heart motif. But that doesn't rule out the idea that someone saw Dolphlate and used it as the basis for a canon Pokemon. It's just another possibility. So tell us, what do you think? Do these designers have a legitimate grievance with Nintendo? Or is this all simply a matter of coincidence? Regardless, we'll be sure to keep you up to date with all the latest news out of Japan.